Alright. We are in Winters for a brief stint. We're waiting on Dr. Andonuts to fix the Skyrunner. No big deal. And while we do that, we're gonna go bust up some fool. Now that we have everyone here, we can actually fight these cavemen. If any spawn, which they didn't. Oh, no, there's some. Anyways, we can fight those now, I just don't really care to, right at the moment. But so we can just pop right over here and fight this guy. I am gonna go over and grab that present real quick. If you notice, the enemies in this cave are a little bit different now. They are different enemies, they're stronger. But, I mean, not substantially, not enough stronger to be a real problem. They're just sort of comparable with the level that we are. So I'm just going to go on ahead and fire these guys. Cool. Sci-Flash Beta. So, as early as Sci-Flash Beta, you run a very, very slim chance of just flat out killing whatever gets hit with it. The problem is that the chance is so small that you basically never see it. So if you're going to use Sci-Flash, typically you'll just want to use it assuming that you're going to get the status effects, rather than assume that you're going to get destruction of the enemy. Even when it's at its highest level, the chance is still relatively low. Now, I can't remember what this gift is, so I'm hoping that it's something half decent. Okay, we got a couple of bottle rockets. Not gonna use them on these guys. We'll make sure and save those for this boss that's coming up. Excellent. I don't know if they have psychic points or not, so we're gonna find out. Nope. Cool. So, we can just murder him. And there we go. Now, need to make sure to heal Jeff a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's completely useless to us. Really should have just grabbed that when we had Jeff. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. Glad I can waste all of our time. The hell? I think everyone missed that round. Now, so I did stop and look up what luck does, since I couldn't remember, and I found out that I couldn't remember because no one is really sure. After all this time, people still don't actually know exactly what it controls. The thought is that sometimes it affects your ability to dodge or be missed during combat, but otherwise it's just kind of up in the air. Interestingly enough, along with luck, it's actually not totally certain what IQ does. It's known that it raises your psychic points, and that it controls Jeff's ability to repair things. But there's theory that it controls other things as well, and we just aren't sure what. If there are strange noises in the background, that's just my dogs. They have decided that this is the time when they are supposed to play. Okay. There we go. Unfortunately, these enemies are hitting a little bit harder than I was expecting. Ugh. That's unpleasant. Well, looks like we're gonna have to go pop back over and use the revitalization machine. Sorry about that. I did not expect that detour to be so costly in terms of everything. See if we can get out of here before. There we go. Invincibility frames. Sometimes I have to wonder if the piracy code, where it activates an insane number of spawns, doesn't just trigger randomly. Oops. So yeah, for anyone who isn't aware, which I assume a lot of people are at this point, this game actually has one of the more inventive methods of doing piracy control. You can play the game fully, even if it detects that it's a pirated cartridge or ROM file. But fourth year sanctuary. But it vastly increases the number of enemies that spawn, and it also makes a lot of them stronger. But you can get through the entire game that way. You can get straight up to the very final boss fight, and you can get, I think, halfway through the boss fight, and then the game freezes. It locks up, and it gives you a message about not pirating. I don't remember exactly what the message says, but the gist is don't pirate video games. And then it resets the only way to clear it is to reset the system, and when you reset it, your save file is gone. I've actually had half a mind to try and find one of the ROMs that doesn't have the fix for that in place, and another neutralizer. To find one of the cartridges that doesn't have the fix in place and actually run through it that way. I just kind of want to see what it's like. Excellent. And I was really hoping that would show me whether or not he has a shield. I'm gonna go ahead and slap this up just because I can't remember if he uses psychic points, but we're at the point in the game where enemies really will be fairly frequently. Yes, well, Chromie, apparently when a Great Dane and a Pitbull play, I guess it sounds like zombies. There you go, the more you know. So we're going ahead and slap down Sci-Fire. We'll see if that actually does more damage than Freeze, but I don't think that's going to. No, that's unsurprising, honestly. Since at this point in the game, no one else has any real recovery powers, Ness tends to be the recovery bitch. Then I would be playing Resident Evil instead of Earthbound, JB64. And I'm not. Thankfully. I don't want to deal with zombie dogs. I think this should be the last bottle rocket that I have to use. Yep, there we go. So we're about to hit the point where the big bottle rockets don't do enough damage to really be worthwhile. I'm still going to have some because they hit harder than Jeff does naturally, but there's a couple of bosses where they're just not as useful as they've been. These are some pretty good levels. That's nice. Had a bit of a run of really crappy ones for a little while there. Taco. So this is really one of the easiest sanctuaries to get. I mean, as you saw, we waltz in to this cave, walk there, and murder him. That's it. You're done. Now, we could go explore a little bit, we could go backtrack through the cave, clear out that pencil statue, stuff like that, but not going to. I'm gonna pop in here just to take a quick look-see. So it's just a cave underneath Stonehenge. As to why no one has found it before, don't know. Magic, I guess. It's got that weird glowy stuff and an iron eraser. How about that? Tacos really do sound delicious. That's because they are delicious. Good lord. Okay, I guess. I'll take it. Alright, so now that we've killed that guy, we're gonna pop back in here. The Skyrunner should be ready for us. We're gonna go on ahead, use the revitalization machine first. There we go. And talk to this dude. There we go. And now we go and head our way to Summers. We get another little bit of a cinematic for it. Those lovely clouds. Right? Dr. Nuts is pretty much an absolutely terrible father. I would be right there along with you, telling him to go fuck himself. So, not quite as much of a cinematic this time. Fortunately. And then it breaks. Because of course it does. Only this time, it's gone for good. There is no getting this back now. Why it did that when it ran into the beach at low speed versus slamming into the ground in 3'd, don't know, but there you have it. So, as I mentioned before, this is a resort town. As such, things are overpriced, as one would expect. Also, that bird tells us what's coming. We get to fight a kraken. We don't want that. He's right. It is useful to us. 3 time. I don't think that we fought any of these yet. The crazed sign. Cool. Probably didn't actually need to do that, but that's fine. So this is the Club Stoic. We can't get in yet. We have to go through some shenanigans first. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's try Beta instead. Let's see if we can kill these with Beta. Close enough. So, we're gonna pop into the shop, take a quick look. It's all gonna be horribly overpriced, but I expect that. That's fine. See, pretty insane prices, right? So, the Diamond Band is amazing. Right? Exactly. It's like a meta statement about the Stoic Club. So the Diamond Band is pretty much amazing. However, it's $10,000 here, which is insane. We'll find it for less later. I think it's less. Either that or we just have more money later. One of the two. Platinum Band is also a big upgrade, but I'm not going to do that. I will, however, buy the Big League Bat, even though I don't strictly speaking need it. It's useful enough to be worth it, I think. Okay. That's where the neutralizer was. There we go. Decent little increase. I don't think that anything else is... I mean, we can get the lucky coin, but the same issue there with the other things. So I'm going to skip that for now. Yes, diamonds truly are the hardest metal. I will put my fingerprints wherever I damn well please. I don't think this restaurant does anything in particular. It does have a couple of unique food items, but we don't really need them. Fuzzy pickles! Okay, so, hotel, just like everything else, it's overpriced. Yeah, pretty pricey. But anyways, that's that end. Now, just like most resort areas, there's the tourist section full of really expensive places, and, gouging prices and stores. And then there's the other area, where all of the normal people live. Hospital. Not of any particular note. Pokey, of course, had to leave some graffiti for us. Yes, indeed. The Kraken inhabits the seas. One of the only animals in this game that does not talk to Ness. So here we have a shop that's actually a normal person shop. However, it doesn't really sell much of use to us. That's unfortunate. I can't remember. One of these houses has someone that we actually need to talk to. There we go. Got the number for the Stoic Club. So here we get one of the parts of the game that breaks the fourth wall quite completely. Yes, the players holding the controller. How about that? There we go. That actually comes into play later. Okay, cool. So that's done. Any normal person indeed. Good thing this person isn't normal. but he's worried about his wife. Not the Kraken, but his wife. Magic cakes. They're basically drugs. So anyways, we have to go save this dude's marriage from falling apart. In order to do that, we have to go crash the Stoic Club. So we're gonna do that. Yes, I would like to make a reservation, Stoic Club. How about that? That was easy. I'm gonna call Mom, just in case. It's good to call her every few towns. Just to deal with the homesickness issue. Now, we do need to pop into the museum, but I'm going to deal with the Stoic Club first. It's honestly kind of like just being on the internet. Yeah, good man. There we go. Okay, so, spoke to all those idiots. Now we're gonna talk to this woman, who puts drugs in cakes and sells them on the seashore. Of course I did. Awesome. So, did that. Now we're gonna go talk to her and do some shenanigans. There's always shenanigans. Always. Oh no, I don't mean actual serious intellectual conversations on the internet, but people who think that they're having those when they're actually not. Very special magic cake. She's right! She's totally right. She is completely correct. Now, now we meet our fourth character. He's the only one who shows up higher than level 1. Well, he joins our party higher than like level 1 or 2. He literally lives on a floating island in the sky. Because of course he does. Now we get control over this dude. And, yeah, he lives in a place called Dalam. There's a bunch of actually very useful items scattered around this town. We will also come back here later in order to purchase a whole bunch of even better items. They're really quite good. That man is a telephone. Yes, that is correct. The brainstone that I picked up is actually very critical for Pooh. So all of those enemies, like the ducks, that make it hard to concentrate, and things like brain shock, that, again, make it hard to concentrate, make it so you can't use Psi, the brainstone renders those useless. You can still use Psi even if you are made unable to concentrate. It's actually extremely handy. It's also completely key for what's about to happen. I think that he's the only young male on this entire floating island. So Pooh actually has a different reaction to food of all types than the other trio. All Western food gives him barely any recovery of any sort. However, like, bottles of water give him a substantial boost to his psychic points, and most of these Eastern foods give their full amount or more. Now, we actually don't have any dollars, so we can't really do anything in there. I'm gonna pop in because I think that they have an item for me. And yes, they are lampshading the break into people's houses and take stuff. However, we are literally the crowned prince of this island. So everyone just tells us to take everything. It's kind of cool. Yes, the brainstone is great for Paula if she can use it. I can't remember if she's able to. Moo is moo. He wants to show me something that he hasn't even found himself. How about that? So, this part of the game is pretty much self-guided. The key is, don't let anything interrupt you. Don't move at this point, or you invalidate the training. Whatever, man, it's a communist paradise. And I happen to be the best of the equals. Aw, yeah. I love how completely stereotypical this face is. He's going to break my legs. Do I accept it? Always say yes. It's gonna tear off my arms. Not just break them, but tear them off. And feed them to the crows. Yes, we will accept it. Now what's interesting here is that when he takes our hearing, we're gonna lose sound in the game. No sound. Not even the sound of text scrolling. When he takes our sight, it fades to black. If you lose your mind, you also lose any feelings of sadness. He will take our mind. There you go. That's Moo. It was the place of emptiness. It was all an illusion. Anyways, now we head back up here, learn Teleport Beta, and go meet the trio. And a couple of these people say slightly different things, but it's pretty much all the same. I'm not going to bother talking to any of them. Now, the nice thing about Pooh is that he's at level 15, which is cool. He gets a mix of things. So he can use some of the offensive abilities that Paula can, for Side Freeze, for instance. That one is especially useful. But he also gets recovery effects, like Ness. He's sort of a blend of the two. So, while, in my opinion, the party is functional without him, he does provide some boost to it. Nothing more to learn. It's interesting that he can communicate with eternity. Here we go. Psy Shield Beta. Just Teleport Alpha. Teleport Beta. Teleport Beta does not actually work like that. He's cheating. Yo, yo, yo! I like how Ness just kind of calmly accepts that. It's like, I am yours now. And he's just like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Guess that works. So, we have our 4 now. That's cool. We are now a complete party. One of the other things about Pooh is that he does not get any sort of bonus from any of the various equipables in the area. I think the only kind that he can equip really are some of the coins. And I'm not even totally sure about that. So, she makes magic tarts. They're very expensive. However, they're the first purchasable item that we can access that recovers psychic points. Makes them useful. I'm not going to get them. I don't really need them. Since I can access Dalam, I can buy brain food lunches. Those are preferable, in my opinion. So, next we need to go hit up the museum, I think. No. I want to say that we come back here to go to the museum. I'm going to go on ahead and pop in real quick. I don't think that we actually go here yet, but we'll find out just to be sure. Yeah, okay, no, we don't. As a result, I'm going to go use the insanely overpriced hotel. Score. And then go beat the shit out of a Kraken. I'm going to pop in here and double check what Pooh can equip. Yeah, so he can technically equip these things, but they don't really work for him. This is sort of one of the known enemies of the game. You literally fight a car. With baseball bats and murder it. The game is weird, yo. Pokey's already been here, as we can clearly tell. $600 a night for a room. Has a nice little balcony with an ocean view. It's honestly kind of a nice room. Nice hotel. Just, you know, I didn't really want to spend that much. Yesterday, the same as the day before yesterday. The day to be the same as yesterday. Of course they're doing it for the money. Oop, damn. No need to really talk to any of these people, so I'm not going to bother. Okay. So, now that we have woken that woman from her stoicism-induced stupor, we're going to... I am going to buy a couple of the magic tarts. Give them to Pooh. He's not going to really be able to use them, but... Oh, there we go. Paula has a couple of slots. Cool. So, moving on. We did that because we're about to go fight the Kraken, which can be a challenging fight sometimes. Other times you get lucky and it's a breeze. So since we saved this dude's marriage, he'll... right. And fuzzy pickles. So ignore him. And this dude. Well, we are courageous. Ha! Yes, we did get our life for free. 20 bucks a person? Yeah, sure, whatever. Off we go! This is pretty much the closest that we get in this game to an overworld map. This sort of zoomed out view. Apparently that was actually a fully conscious decision by the developers of the game. Yep, sailor who gets seasick. Yep, we definitely are the adventurers. And soon the real shit starts. Here it is. I've always wondered about all of the various ruins scattered all over the place. There's an awful lot of them. So, Pooh has an ability called Mirror. Since we haven't had him in fight before, we haven't seen it. What it does is it turns him into one of the enemies. It doesn't always work exactly as you would expect, but generally speaking, it does what it says on the tin. It doesn't work on everything. The success rate is pretty low, but it doesn't cost any points or anything, so if it does happen to work, it's useful. But generally speaking, something that you're going to use as like a last-ditch effort. Okay, we neutralized everything just to be sure. Now we're going to shield ourselves. It's rather unfortunate that did not hit Ness, but what can you do? I forgot to buy more blast. That's alright, we can still get through this just fine. I have actually had Mirror work on the Kraken once, I think, and it was pretty impressive when it did work. But it is relatively rare that it works. Blast, that gets through, damn. This isn't going as well as I was hoping, but that's alright. There we go! Awesome. Awesome. It is a shame that Pooh doesn't get any of those experience points, but we will make do. Pooh's kind of tricky just because he can't use most Western items. It's difficult to boost him up to being on par with everyone else. But so that's the Kraken, and now we're gonna move on to Scaraba. Which is another desert. With, yes, the same effect as the previous one. Yep, you can see it right there. We are fantastic, it's true. Yep, dude on top of a rope. Why not? So, that's right, it's our buddy the Dungeon Man. He is now a dungeon. Yep, that's right, Pokey took a dump in the desert. He's a charming individual, truly. It's nice that everywhere takes American money. Or, sorry, Eagleton money. So we've got a hotel. What I actually need, though, is the hospital. Can't remember which building it is. There we go. Cool. The Super Deluxe Suite isn't. It isn't. Yes, scorpions. That's right. This is the Super Deluxe Suite. Nice, isn't it? I'm gonna pick up a couple of big bottle rockets. They're not the boss killers they used to be, but they can still dish out some damage on it when necessary. Bam. The tiny ruby that Pooh comes with will come in useful later. Kraken gone forever. Oh yeah. You're welcome, bitches. So, now we're gonna go shopping since we did not really do that in Summers. This place has a market that we can go to. Much like the last market we visited, not a whole lot in it. However, it does have a couple of very handy items. We've got the Platinum Band. We've also got the Crystal Charm. Useful for Paula, since she didn't get either of those fancy coins. The Broken Cannon is for Jeff to fix. He doesn't have any spots right now, so I'm going to slap it on Pooh. Excuse me. We do need the Piggy Nose. I know it sounds weird, but we have a function for it later. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up right now. Now, as you can see, the Big Lead Bat is less than half the cost that it was in Summers. That's what I meant when I said that they were overpriced there. However, I wanted the extra damage for the Kraken in case it came down to that. So now that the Platinum Bands aren't like $6 grand, I'm going to pick up a couple. Give Paula the Psy Caramel. Oh, no, we actually want that. We're going to let Pooh hold the pencil eraser for the moment, as well as the Piggy Nose. Since he doesn't really equip anything, he ends up carrying a lot of junk. I tend to use him for holding a lot of healing items. Sometimes it backfires, for the most part it's alright. Okay, now we can go on and get that last Platinum Band. There we go. Cool. That'll help us out a lot. Nope, don't need any of that. It sounds like an odd item, but it's actually kind of useful for a bit. We do come to a point where it no longer is. But, it's a reusable item. and it spawns out different types of snakes at random. And they get thrown out and they attack our enemies. It does small amounts of damage and it can poison them. Poisoning is the goal. So we can buy snakes and vial of serum. We don't need either of those things though. We have the bag of snakes, and we have healing powers because we're psychic. And then we have the seasoning salesman. Don't care about that. I will go ahead and buy a wet towel. We can certainly use the PP freely enough, but still, I'd rather not burn through it randomly, if I don't have to. Hint dude standing next to a pyramid. So these are all the small pyramids. We don't need these. We're looking for a particular one. Oh, don't need that. There we go. Fuzzy pickles! How cool. I like that he stands on the palm tree. That's pleasing to me. So, we came over here, we looked at the pyramid. Nothing's happening. Can't go any farther. High class and beautiful. How about that? Anyways, we're just gonna murder these guys. Conveniently, Pooh, as discussed, can still use side. But if he dies, he can't. God damn it. See, this is an issue. Fortunately, when we get... In order to get the hieroglyph that we need for this, we're going to go back to some old areas, and Pooh will get a chance to level up some. There we go. We're going to find somewhere where I have enough space and teleport out of here. I think we have to go out to the desert, though. Yeah. That's slightly... Now he's on the wall! Fuzzy pickles. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna pop back to Summers. The museum exhibit should be open again. And if it's not, then I know what we need to do. There we go. So I think that it's still going to be closed, but that's fine. We're going to go talk to someone. Yeah, that's fine. There's someone that we need to talk to here, and that'll start another chain of little sub-quests that we'll go deal with. There we go. Our first taste of the enemies that we're about to face. So, this is one of those cases where the game designers really went into it pretty well. They give us a taste of these enemies before we're in deep shit and have to fight them or die. So we can sort of figure out how to deal with them. And it's worth noting that they are indeed susceptible to paralysis. The mummy wrap is like the handbag strap, it just solidifies an enemy. So we finally managed to keep Pooh alive through a fight. That's nice. Now he's gonna level up a few times. Awesome. So now we have 2 people who can use Psi Magnet, which is handy. Given what we know, we'll go ahead and paralyze it. But I mean, really, we just need to murder it. Of course. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, well, that sucks. The reality of it is that Pooh is going to be behind us in terms of level for quite a while. Unfortunately, I want to say that we have to have Pooh alive for this. Maybe not the best use of this item, but that's alright. The invaders will be reborn every millennium and attack again. place out of time is beyond the dark, and is even farther than beyond the lost underworld. Deep darkness is shrouded. Only the Hawkeye can pierce it. Does that pattern remind anyone of anything? You make a star. That's literally all it is. You make a star. Motherfucker ripped us off big time. But that's alright, because we're out to save the human race, or something like that, anyways. He's gonna talk to us even though we're not the person he needs. Spoon and fork. So that sort of gives us the idea where we should go next. So we will. We're gonna head back to Forside. Fortunately, the hotel here is cheaper. I told you we weren't done here. That we'd be dealing with stuff here for... That enemy was in the tree. I do like that they constantly keep those things updating. So the clue is to go over to the museum, so we're gonna go do that. We're looking for Mr. Fork. We've got this gigantic dinosaur skeleton. Man, we're just triggering all of the fuzzy pickles today. How about that? Okay. So now we have to go... I have to go find Venus, the singer, and get an autograph from her. That's alright, it won't take too long. We can't do it until we speak to him. And we have to sit through one of her shows in order to get it. Now, fortunately for us, she's not in a bad contract. She's a little bit smarter with her money, or I don't know, has a manager or something. There we go. Here we go. A nice little show for us. Everyone enjoy. I never actually noticed before, but that's actually Mr. Fork up there who's about to get, do something very dumb. Alright, there we go. She did her little number. Mr. Fork proved that he was a total creeper. Now we're gonna go get an autograph. And give it to the creeper. That's lovely. It's nice to be recognized. Cool. So, we got that. We can be done with this theater pretty much forever. I don't think that we ever have to sit through another theater performance, which is fortunate. They do get kind of old. And now we can go do some stuff in the bowels of... Oh, right. There we go. In the bowels of the museum in the city. And we will give him this. That's right, ladies and gents. We're about to go beat up a giant rat. And for some reason there's a manhole cover in the middle of a room in the museum. I don't know why. Mini ghosts are pretty frustrating. They don't do stuff every single time, but they will sometimes solidify you randomly or deal very minor amounts of damage, things like that. They're just annoying. See, 1 HP. I mean, it's not anything to worry about, but it's frustrating. That can also sometimes be difficult to get rid of. Okay, and now we have that little thing following us around. This place has a butterfly room, so I'm not super concerned about psychic point usage. I'm certainly not trying to burn through them at an insane rate or anything, but it just doesn't worry me overly if I use a few more than I normally would. There we go. I need to actually fight some of these enemies, so I'm not going to do that a whole lot. Certainly not every time. Ugh, croissant, that's pointless. But I didn't really want to fight that many of them. I think Cypheries will affect these. Okay. Awesome. So the idea here is they had us come back here because they know that Pooh needs to level up some. He's behind us, we need to get him up to speed. We don't actually need the broken iron, we've already got one of those. We are going to go ahead and drop this cheap bracelet because I forgot that it was there. Also the bomb. We don't need either of those things. I'm gonna hold on to the mummy wrap just in case. It could be useful down here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this as well. As I said, with Pooh, some of those things work better. Bottle of water is one of them. He gets more psychic points off of that than the rest of these guys. The snake bag is useful to give to Pooh since his physical attack is very, very weak right now. And I don't always want to be burning through his psychic points. So I'll have him use things like that. Doesn't always prove effective, but it gives him something to do that's more useful than dealing 1 HP of damage every turn. Okay, that's one of them down. Very good. Well, I say it's more useful. Apparently it wasn't that time. That's alright though. Beautiful. I can't go that way. Unfortunately, I don't know this particular dungeon super well. What I want is to get myself to the butterfly room in this place. If I can get there, it's tedious, as I've already said, but if I can get there, then I have a lot more ability to actually get Pooh up a few levels. There we go. I don't really want to have to concern myself with conservation when I'm trying to level up one of my weakest members. Which, unfortunately, I do have to focus pretty heavily on doing that. So that he's useful when we get farther on. One of the issues is that we have him now, and he came to us relatively weak. He's also going to be taken away from us again before too long. Once we get through the pyramid, he's going to go away and learn his special psychic move. Now granted, it's a powerful move, it's worth getting, but he'll be gone for an entire segment of the game. He'll be gone for one dungeon equivalent. Oops. Which is a potential issue. Because that means that he's came to us behind, and he's going to stay behind because of that. So, by the time he comes back, yes, he'll have a useful move, but it's going to take a while after that for him to catch up. So if I can get him reasonably close to us now, that cuts back on that sum. It is fortunate that Pooh can heal because he's faster than Ness. Ness is the slowest party member. He hits hard, he's got some useful stuff, but since he goes last, sometimes it doesn't help very much. Now that said, Pooh is still a little bit slow relative, but eventually he'll be second only to Paula in terms of speed. I'm not sure how to take that, Big Nasty. Ugh. Those damn stinky ghosts are very frustrating. Gonna use an HP sucker, try and restore him a little bit. There we go. Okay. Lovely. It's wonderful when those guys manage to do that. I wonder why Pooh couldn't... Being solidified doesn't usually stop you from using psychic powers, so I'm not sure why he didn't heal Paulo. Jesus. Come on. There we go. Jesus. I always forget how high the guts on those guys are. So I'm gonna go on ahead and use one of these brain food lunches on Paula. She needs both of the HP and the PP. Need to remember to pick up a few of those once I get done here. And there we go. It's especially frustrating to go through this place just because the water is so slow to traverse. And there goes Jeff. Awesome. Still, at this point, I would rather lose Jeff than Pooh. I need to level up Pooh far more than I need to level up Jeff. Downside to this is that I don't believe that I have any more revive items. Yes, I do. Butterfly room. Fortunately, everyone's HP is at full. I don't particularly need to max everyone's PP out. I just want to get it up a little bit. I also kind of like to buffer out any particularly nasty groups of enemies. Go on and grab this trash can. And pop back in here. One more. As long as there's no enemies here. Wow. Now, it shouldn't be too far at all to get to the boss of the area. He's kind of frustrating to deal with. Once again, mostly because Pooh is relatively weak. Comparatively speaking, of course. You should just be on the other side of those barrels. That would have been incredibly unpleasant to fight. Can't actually remember what spawns in here other than an enemy. Okay, good. There was actually a reward. Ah, wonderful. The broken bazooka is pretty much Jeff's best item. It's like launching a super bomb forever. Once he gets that thing repaired, his utility goes up substantially. It launches effectively a super bomb, so it targets a center enemy and then splash damage. The damage is relatively high, and he can use it over and over and over endlessly, because for whatever reason his bazooka is magical and doesn't need ammo. Level ups are good no matter what, but some are better than others. That one was pretty good. I don't remember if that's gonna help. Yeah. Not what I was hoping for. That's alright. That was what happens when you feed Pooh something from the west. So, there's the enemy that we have to fight. I'm going ahead and do this thing. And it's a playground of doom. It's a giant goddamn rat. It's utterly disgusting, but whatever. I don't think I've ever gotten here without a little ghost attached to me. Ever. Brain Shock is an interesting little ability. It mostly is a status effect sort of thing, but the initial ones aren't that amazing. It's like feeling weird, but eventually, there, feeling a little shit. Eventually, it actually does substantial substantial, substantially powerful effects on enemies. It does become worth using more. A lot of these items that I've been carrying aren't going to be useful much past this, so I'm just gonna feel free to go on ahead and use them. Crap. Come on. Oh, jeez. Can't let Paula die. That would be terrible. There we go. Dealt with the Plague Rotted Doom, which is a ridiculous name. And that was a pretty crappy level up. Alright. Now we get another sanctuary. Okay, grab this item, the carrot key, which seems kind of odd, but it's alright. I can't remember if there's enough space to hit a teleport. I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, no, can't do it. It's fine, if slightly annoying, but we can make do. Especially since the enemies all scatter. I already grabbed all the items, so we're just gonna make our way out of here. Slowly. Oh, so terribly slowly. Ugh, that's a lot of rats. Yeah, back into the water. Really hope these guys take a bath after this. Can't say that I've seen showers in most of the hotels that they've been in. Is this the exit? I don't think it is. I think I need to pop down in here. So many enemies. See, to me it seems like those drums, those barrels could be moved relatively easily, but I guess they are 12-ish. Come on, get out of my way. Really, I don't want to fight them. Guess there are worse ways for this to go. We're right at the exit, so. Ah, it hit. If Scythe Thunder actually hits, it can be effective. It's just that its chance of hitting is low enough that I don't normally bother with it. Pretty much just used it there because it would be better than having Pooh bash. That's nice. Excellent. Decent level up. So I'd have to say that that was definitely worth trading a banana peel that was signed by some random person. Now we're gonna go... Usually by the time I get the bazooka, I'm able to get Jeff to repair it. So hopefully he will be able to. And fuzzy pickles. Okay. Really have had quite a few of those this run. That's fine, that's fine. We're gonna hit up the hotel, see if Jeff will repair the bazooka. Hopefully he will. And then we need to go back to Scaraba. And go to the pyramid. Now we did get the carrot key, which unlocks another sanctuary. But I find it might be worth trying that right now. We do need to get some brain food lunches anyways, and it's in Dalam. Okay. Teleport beta makes everything much, much better. That said, again. I swear I've triggered half of these things in the entire game in this single session. Fuzzy pickles. Go away, old man. Go away. Castle looks like it's made out of gold. Probably just copper, though. Holy crap. Holy crap. Well, man, seriously, this is getting frustrating. Leave me alone. You're creepy. Please, go away. There we go. Healed up. It's a shame that the bazooka is not fixed, but that's alright. So, anyways, it's actually getting kind of late, and we've actually done a fair amount, so I'm going to go on ahead, call Dad, and save, and call it for the night. We're actually getting some decent progress in, so it shouldn't be too much longer before we've actually gone through the entire game. Oops, wrong thing, but whatever. So, have fun, everyone. I will continue this later.